I thought you were gonna do
Hey
like,
guys, I'm Devin,
And I'm Diego.
and I'm Max.
and we're Baka Burrito, back at it with another video. So on today's episode, that's part of the road to 250. We're not going to let you guys forget that.
Yep.
We have
Subscribe down below.
Is anime for you? Obviously, you guys know our answer is going to be yes, but we're here to explain to you why, right? So Diego and I were spitballing before this video, and he actually had the best idea, and he was like, why don't we have a lot of fans who don't actually watch anime, but we think they should get started, and like they're watching to support us, but if they watched anime as well, they could get more involved in the conversation, more engaged in the community. And I liked his idea. So since I stole it, Diego, if you want to go ahead and explain a little more your reasoning behind that.
Okay, so throughout the course of my life, my anime watching life, I've always had friends that would be like, "Why do you watch anime?" You know what I'm saying? They'd ask me why I would watch anime, and honestly, it just struck me as like, why wouldn't you? You know what I'm saying? For me, it's like every other form of media, and so there's bad anime, there's bad
Mhm.
TV shows, there's bad live action shows. You know what I'm saying? And there's good, and you just gotta find the ones that are good. And so I just like to expand on people because there's a very large group of people, I think, a very large audience of people that just will not get into anime simply because of how it looks or
Yeah.
because just for
They
weird
think it's
reasons
childish.
Yeah, they did.
they
Like
think it's childish or
there was
something.
there was a street interview on Instagram, maybe a week and a half ago. The dude was asking this girl, and he was like, "Oh, what do you think of guys who watch anime?" She goes, "Oh, they're childish," and he goes, "Well, what do you mean?" And she goes, "Well, it's anime. Come on, there's no plot, there's no significance. It's not even art." And the thing is, she's wrong, right? Because
Yeah,
anime is a literal interpretation of literature from pop culture in Japan. It's literally a rendition of art from a still medium to a motion to a moving medium. And there's sound design, which is music, storytelling,
yeah,
like
exactly.
all of this, it has key elements from different types of art styles, different types of mediums, and they all come together to form something special and something different each time. Obviously, there's some that are like just run-of-the-mill generic mess, but that's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about, is anime for you? Is there something you can get out of anime? And I want to liken it to Diego's example because I was speaking to
Yeah.
my mother because she watches all of our episodes. She's a big fan of Max, right?
Hey, I have a
And
fan.
so she'll watch the videos and she goes, you know what? Until I started watching your videos, I didn't realize anime was anything but like cartoon. She goes, I didn't realize, like, by watching Diego's is One Piece, the video on One Piece. She goes, I didn't realize One Piece made him like could make people feel that, oh, it's okay to face the world with a smile. Oh, go out,
Yeah.
find friends who will support you, complete, like, fulfill yourself. I was telling her about ReZero and Rem versus Amelia, and she goes, I literally showed her one picture after I explained the whole situation. She goes, it's okay, Rem, I would have chosen you. And I was like, I get that, like, right, like,
No,
Yes.
come on, Rem is better. Like,
she was like, that's such a tragic story because Rem really does love Subaru because of the fact that she was able to sacrifice her happiness for his, right? And so she was like, there's such meaningful messages that you can get from anime. And she doesn't even watch, she's literally never watched an anime. She only knows what we talk about. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
And it's just
yeah.
yeah, and this is why I wanted to make this video because I've have people in my family too that just don't watch anime for for weird reasons, and it's funny because it's the same thing. It's every time I get them into an anime, every time I get them to like I finally get them to sit down and watch something. Like my brother used to make fun of me. My older brother used to make fun of me for watching anime. I got him to sit down to watch Death Note with me. Watch the first two episodes of Death Note. He binged it literally 2 nights later, and then now he hits me up every now and then. Yo, have you watched this anime? Yo, have you watched this anime? And I'm just like, it's what happens, you know?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's very similar to good TV and a good movie. But before we
Yeah.
expand on that, I want to hear any any examples Max might have, because we've both talked about
Yeah.
our personal lives and people in our personal lives. Do you have any, Max?
Yeah, like an example for me was when I first started watching anime all the way back in high school. Wow, that was a long time ago. But I originally started watching it because I went on YouTube one day and saw like coolest fights of like whatever year, like 2008. And it was just all these anime fights. And I'm like, oh, hold up. Isn't that the stuff I see like on late night Cartoon Network? And next thing you know, I am sitting at my computer on GoGo Anime streaming all of Bleach. Like I just sat there streaming all of it. And at that point, I never knew what really anime was at the time. I thought it was just like this weird Japanese cartoon that
Which
made no
it is.
sense to me because I
And
couldn't
it is.
understand. It
Yeah,
is. But I learned that like, oh, hold up, there's this whole story with Ichigo, his mother dying, like him trying to find his way in life, and trying to survive a Grim Reaper society of a hierarchy that's kind of messed up. But I was like, wow, this is really deep. And I remember the friends I did make in high school at the time, not a lot of them watched anime, and I got them into it by saying, yo, these fights are hype. And they're like, nah, I don't believe you. And I'm like, and then I would show them like Ichigo fighting like literally anybody.
Anyone. Yeah.
Literally anyone with the music and the hype. And next thing you know, we were all sitting there watching like Bleach. And even today, like when I talk with my like family, they're like never watched anime with me. I'm trying to force them to, but they've never watched a single anime. But I plan on showing them eventually Death Note, which I hope will maybe get them to want to watch a few animes with me once in a while. That's the goal. That's the dream.
Yeah, I find Death Note to be almost like the bare minimum. Like if you don't like Death Note, as like if you're trying to get someone into anime and they just for some reason do not like Death Note because it's anime, it's like then they might be a lost cause, you know?
Well,
like if they like shows like
well, can I say like everybody has a different genre they like. For instance, Death Note is one genre that might not appeal to some people, and I get that. It's a great anime, but it might not appeal to
I just mean like
that's not what he means. He because it's not so over the top and it's so rooted in reality. It's just real people in an anime setting. It's like so it doesn't seem like anything crazy. Am I interpreting that right?
Yeah, exactly. Like you know how in a lot of animes they'll have like these characters doing super over exaggerated like oh nandata yo or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll be like saying some super crazy like have like what does that mean actually? I don't even know what that means.
You say
I didn't say
it's on
anything,
YouTube right now and you don't even know what it means.
No,
Our video about to get flagged. Oh.
Yeah, he goes, Omae wa mou shinderu. Nani? And like it seems like that could really turn someone off, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, yeah.
Especially like adults and stuff, and just even in the gags in it, like they're very over exaggerated, and like the characters are always yelling, and like they're always like hitting people and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's just stuff that doesn't usually happen. But like, wait, what was I saying?
So you were saying sometimes they're doing over exaggerated.
Yeah. Even in the gags, they're doing like a lot of over exaggerated. They'll hit the guy, they'll hit someone like across a building or something like that just for a funny joke, or they'll like yell when there's no need to be yelling and stuff. And that doesn't happen a lot in like a lot of live action shows. Mm-hmm. And so, what I mean by Death Note being like very grounded in reality, and it's very easy to get into because of that. But
with the exception of the potato chip scene. Although
that was so good.
I think that's just ridiculous enough for a new anime fan to be like, you can't write in a chip bag.
Well,
you know what? You know what it does though? It eases them into it. It eases them into
the
like, exaggeration.
And he's just writing, and he's like, and I'll eat this chip.
That shit was
honestly, it was at that moment I'm like, okay, a little for the dramatics, aren't we, Kira? All right.
One point I do want to point out real quick before we move on any further is the fact that, especially our generation, I mean, I know I'm a little bit older than you guys.
Like a year older, but yeah.
I'm a year older and then 2 years older. So, like I said, a little older. Yeah. We did grow up with anime. We thought it was cartoons. But we grew up with anime.
Exactly, yeah.
We had Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Dragon Ball Z, And that's just to name the most notable ones. We did have a
Oh.
couple others as well. Oh, what happened?
Well, I mean, once we got to Bleach and Naruto, I guess people realized that it was anime.
Well,
It
yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
just cartoons.
Naruto was
Well,
for
no, that
sure
was.
recognized as anime.
Well, the thing is, though, that happened like when we were accidentally staying up late, and then we discovered late night Cartoon Network, which was unbelievable. That's where like the gates opened for anybody who around our age to probably start watching anime.
Yeah. I mean, partially. Some people dropped it to be cool in middle school.
Yeah.
Oh, and we also had I can't forget one of the OG isekai anime, Digimon.
Oh yeah, can't forget that.
Digimon.
So
Like tried to compete with Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon, just didn't work out.
oh no, that's not true. Digimon is very popular. It's
Okay.
It's
Okay.
just popular. In
I
a
would
different-
like.
Yeah.
All right. I would like to move on to some of the points.
Yeah, of course.
One, Matt. Hold up. Holy crap! I was about to call you Matthew.
Max.
Am I frozen?
No.
No. Do I look
Is
like
it
a
Max or
Matthew,
is
though?
it Devin?
No. It's Max. It's Max.
Okay.
Now, for a moment, I just thought you guys were frozen. Okay. So Max brought up a really good point, and it's that people think it's childish, and I disagree to the highest level of that you can ever disagree. Because here's the thing: is that in Japan, not only do they treat their younger audience with more
Respect.
I don't want to say respect. Maybe it is respect.
I'd say
because
respect.
they
think they're more
understand.
mature.
Yeah, exactly. Like I feel like they treat Japanese kids with a little bit more maturity because of the themes that you can find in anime from like even just Shonen Jump. You know, Shonen is made for like what, like 13 to like 16-year-olds, but
It's
the
meant
themes
for all
inside
ages,
there.
Diego. Let's not just say 13 to 16. We're all shonen junkies here, so.
No. Shonen. The
Shonen
Shonen
is-
demographic is
It's
literally
actually
means
13 to 19, but yes,
But whatever
it
you
literally
say,
means
Diego.
like preteen, doesn't it?
it's
Doesn't Shonen
teenagers.
demographic? Oh, okay. Shonen
Yeah, yeah.
demographic literally means teenagers.
Yeah,
but-
teenage boys
but-
specifically.
Yeah, but the themes that you find in just Shonen is way more, way more complex and way more darker, less childish, more mature than like you would find in like Chowder or
Yeah.
Johnny Test
Yeah,
or
I-
you can go.
so I have a point to agree with that actually, because all of the shonen anime I've ever watched, they attempt. Well, they don't just attempt. They tackle some pretty heavy themes, right?
Yeah.
The thing about it is though, they do end up resolving them in a pretty simplistic way because that's
Yeah.
the audience that they're going for. But as a whole, like Naruto tackling the cycle of pain, right?
Yeah.
Vengeance breeds vengeance, breeds vengeance, breeds pain, breeds hurt, breeds death, breeds hurt, breeds vengeance, right? The cycle of pain keeps going. And Naruto, what we saw from day one to the fight with Pain was literally, I'm going to solve the world's problems. And Pain finally called him out on his nonsense and went, how? And Naruto did not have an answer, right? That's probably one of the best examples, right? So let's take it one down.
One other example I did like is in Black Clover, for instance, the class system that is structured throughout the series where nobles look down on peasants because they're peasants, and just the whole entire power dynamic there. When you really look into it, it really shows the class system that you could even see in today's age with rich versus poor social economic status. Like, I'm going a little too more into it, but it's literally that.
But you're not. Like, and the thing is, in Black Clover, they're gonna solve it in a simplistic way. Asta is gonna prove them wrong, and then people are gonna be more accepting of each other. But that's not how it's gonna happen in real life, right? But
Exactly.
they introduce the themes.
But what I like most about the theme of it, though, is how, like, because I'm re-binging it right now, because Shonen Junkie. And the one thing I like, though, is how when the first Wizard King says that my dream is continued on through each Wizard King. Because the goal of the Wizard King isn't something that inherits from being a noble, necessarily, or because you're the strongest magic user. Definitely helps if you're the strongest magic user. But it's through merit. Straight up what you have done. And I like that concept, though, because his dream keeps following down until the current Wizard King, making this generation probably the most open-minded generation of Magic Knights the Kingdom has probably seen.
Sounds like the Will of Fire to me.
Sounds like the Will of Fire to me, too, but honestly though, but like a little more like equality.
But
in a
yeah,
way.
okay. So let's rein it back in and actually like start breaking down the reasoning for because now we're quite a bit in. We did start touching on it, but let's actually. So what's the first thing you would say to someone who only watches like someone who what would you say to someone who doesn't watch TV, right? Like someone only reads books. How would you get them into anime or manga?
I
right?
give them a few. I've explained to them like a really great plot and story originally, not tell them where it's from, and be like, oh yeah, then you should definitely read this light novel that's based on it.
And
Get
then
them
you
into
give
a
them
light
Hunter x Hunter,
novel that
Yeah.
which
could
is an
lead to a
actual light
manga.
novel.
Yeah. So somebody who does like you said, that's essentially what I was getting at. Someone who doesn't watch TV, someone who only reads books, they can get into the medium as well. They can read manga, which has more chapters than there are episodes of any anime. Light novels as well, which are still very plentiful. So there's something you can read on a weekly basis. Like it's a new thing, it's a new narrative, it's new literature. And some of them are so artfully written that they're like when they get adapted, some people are disappointed, right? Like Berserk is one of the most masterfully written things ever to exist, and the anime sucks, right? Like the 2016 2017 anime is terrible, but they could read that story and still go, wow, this is thought-provoking, this is profound, this is
Right.
something for me.
Great,
Well, it's just
great
each
character
chapter-
development, great characterization. You know, like the mangaka actually put so much well thought out thoughts behind what they're doing and what they're writing. You know, that's
Yeah.
why it's such a proficient and such a sought out career in
Yeah.
Japan. You know, it's like just how we have writers here that are like, you know, we have give me some famous writers from over here.
Stephen King.
Yeah, you know, we get Stephen King, you know,
Legend.
he has, you know, you get nominations and stuff for that. And it's just like that, but just from a different culture.
Yeah,
And-
and the reason I said Stephen King specifically is because they turn all of his books into movies.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah.
So it's the same thing as interpreting art into movies or interpreting books. Sorry, I meant books. Into TV shows or movies.
Or you want even closer correlation, literally comic book superheroes in America
Exactly.
to actual Marvel
Exactly,
movies.
exactly.
Yeah,
Like
that's
that is
great.
the literal correlation to that.
So the next scenario, right? I'm gonna give this one to Diego, right? If someone only watches Disney movies, right? How would you get them into anime?
Oh my God, Disney
Not already
movies.
into it.
I'm literally the complete opposite of someone that watches Disney.
It's okay.
But-
It's okay. I could take that one if you want.
But I mean, I guess the reason you gave me that was because One Piece is very Disney-esque. Is that why you gave me that one to me?
It can be, yes. But actually, I did have a more literal answer.
Okay.
The Miyazaki and Studio Ghibli films. That's if you like animated movies already, that's like the
Yeah.
quickest way to just jump right into. You can watch Howl's Moving Castle, Princess Mononoke, Tales of Earthsea, Spirited Away, My Neighbor
Oh, yeah,
Totoro.
Away.
Like, so all of these movies are excellent. There's a message behind them and everything like that. So
Oh, I would give them Koe no Katachi.
yes, exactly.
Koe no Katachi for sure. Great animation, beautiful sound design, and it's like, yeah, I mean, it's not a Disney movie because, you know, there's no like crazy characters and stuff, but it gives you the essence. You know, I feel like it has that essence of like, you know, wholesomeness
It has the
Yeah.
vibe.
to it.
You know,
Yeah,
the
it's a
thing
vibe.
about that is I would also reserve that answer for actual movies. Like those like anime movies that are just one-offs that tell different stories. Like there's one about food on Netflix. And it talks about all these people's lives through food. And
Or the
I
one
think-
with the what was it, Time Leap or whatever? It was
Your Name, is that the one?
Your
you're thinking?
Name, yeah, Your Name.
Yeah,
Your Name.
So if you like regular movies, there's such a vast array of genres of anime movies that exist that you can just boom, I'm gonna sit here, watch this for an hour and a half and be like, wow, that was actually like those characters made sense. Like everything about that made sense. Like there's a movie about this kid who's about to graduate high school or whatever, and he falls for this woman that he keeps meeting in the park, and like they fall in love, but it turns out like they can't be together, right? Like, and it's like all like, and he wants to be a shoesmith, so she, or a cobbler, that's what they're called.
Yeah.
And so she like uses her foot and like she like gives him the measurements and whatever, and he makes her shoes, and that's how like he confesses his love for her. And like, so it's things like that. Like there's romance movies, there's horror movies, and they're all anime. It's just a different medium that people, I feel like, they're so closed off to that they don't even see. Like, if you like the animated Scooby-Doo movies, you'll love anime.
Yeah. And the one thing I like about anime movies especially, and that I think anybody can appreciate, is you can go farther than a regular live movie could do. You can go harder with like different types of monsters and creatures and worlds because you're not bound by actual physical constraints. You can
CG.
Exactly. You can draw it, it can appear.
Yeah. If it's in the artist's mind, it can go to the page and it can go to the animation.
Yep.
And that's why I believe that anime in itself is one of the most creative mediums out there, because it's literally coming. I feel like it's almost directly coming from someone's brain. You know, there's there's very little constraints to what they can do.
All right, and now I'm going to throw Devin a question how to get somebody involved in anime. Somebody who watches, you know, like The Walking Dead or regular TV series just normally, and that's really all they do.
Yeah, Game of Thrones,
Walking Dead,
Breaking
stuff like
Bad.
that.
Cool. So, I don't really know that there's any drug anime. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not too versed on drug anime like that genre.
91 days.
I believe you. But there's the one about the mafia. I think it's called Mafia.
No, it's like 91 days.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that one. Cool. So, the exact one I was thinking of. So if you watch something like Breaking Bad, you'll probably like 91 Days because it centers around something like the mafia and like they're going on, like they have people whacked. Like if you like Godfather even.
Peaky
like
Blinders,
especially.
I know a lot of people watch that.
Yeah, Godfather vibes.
Yeah. So like you have shows that like touch that genre. You gave me The Walking Dead, the Train to Cabanari or Cabanari Trainer or whatever it is. That anime is no. The anime about the people with the steampunk zombies.
Cabanari, yeah.
Yeah. So that anime is literally steampunk zombies. It predates Train to Busan. Like it's things like this. Like these people go out and they have shotguns attached to their back and they shoot zombies. Great show. Easy.
Yeah.
High School DxD. There's. I don't really.
High School of the Dead or High School DxD?
You mean
both?
they're essentially the same thing but slightly different plots.
They really are the same, but like wait.
No, they have the same plot.
They really do.
Different settings.
You're right. The plot's the same. The setting's just different.
It's the same plot.
But what was the third one you asked me about? Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
Fantasy / epic is easily one of the most bountiful forms of anime. You have Arslan Seki. You have Berserk. You have Kingdom. You have so many amazing anime.
Every isekai anime.
Most isekai anime. Not every
isekai.
Not every isekai is going to be for everyone because of the fact that how isekai is done with the tropes. Oh, comedy. You have
romance.
Konosuba.
We can go on, honestly.
Yeah, so there's tons of things that there's a direct one for one. All you need to do is find someone who knows anime, right? I think that's the biggest barrier to entry, right? Because even if it's a friend that you have, they may not have the same taste. But if you go to them and you go to a forum and you say, hey guys, I'm looking for an anime that hits this genre, something I like, or a movie I like is this, like.
Or just hit up my anime list too.
Yeah, my anime list is probably the best resource for.
When I first started anime, that's where I found every one of my shows. I click on the show I had and say what's similar to it. Then I see the whole list and finish the entire list that they gave me. Then I go on to the next thing, and that's how I finished all the anime that ever existed.
Yeah,
my anime list is good because you can categorize it by genre, right?
Yep.
Exactly. That's why genre. I had issues.
And by rating. So you don't even have to watch the low rated stuff.
Sometimes the low rated stuff's fun though.
I guess we could go to another barrier for entry, which is dub and sub.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't want to watch anime because it's in another. They feel like it's in another thing.
Yeah. So that's actually a very easy. Yeah, that's a very easy hurdle. You can find dubbed anime. Not everything, obviously not everything. But once you catch all the way up to what's dubbed, I do recommend just sitting through the sub. I think some easy starting anime to like get used to dub versus sub is something like Yu-Gi-Oh, something like Dragon Ball Z, because there does come a point where once you get to a certain point, like say in GX, season 4 was never dubbed. So if you want to finish the story, I mean, you can finish it at the end of season 3, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you want to see the last season of GX, you have to watch it subbed. Like, there's no other alternative.
Yeah, I remember that's how I got originally into sub, because I remember watching Dragon Ball at one point, and then just finding out, wait a minute, what's this? And then I'm like, I guess I'm going to be here watching it this way. And then next thing you know, I was like, nah, subbed over dubbed.
That's how it goes. Usually, you just have to not be afraid of
reading
letters, letters at the bottom of your screen.
And
because here's the thing. Well, let me just finish this one point. Here's the thing: is that recently, not just recently, but there are actually a lot of great dubs out there. You know, Death Note, Full Metal Alchemist. There are actually a lot of good dubs out there that you can that'll let you slide into anime without having to worry about the language barrier or about reading subtitles. And then if you're not afraid of the subtitles, you'll eventually want to even watch it subbed.
Like you actually start understanding the gist of what's going on, even if you're not looking necessarily at the sub. You won't understand word for word, but you'll understand the idea.
I definitely find that once you start reading manga, you're definitely more okay with subbed anime because you're already reading. A lot of, I think a big issue is... Or even if you
read books.
Yeah. People who read have no issue with sub. It is a comfort thing, though. Because, like, a lot of people just want to autopilot, right? You just want the English. I watched Bungo Stray Dogs, one of my favorite anime. Like, I'm not going to say it's, like, top 10, but it is one of my favorite anime, right? I watched that dubbed first.
Yeah.
I watched it subbed after the fact.
And I enjoy the dub because, like, sometimes when I'm eating or if I'm doing something else, I don't have to always look at the screen. If it's a very dialogue-heavy episode, I'm just, I can just listen to it. Kind of like a podcast.
Yeah. I used to do that at the gym. I'd have my phone set up while I'm doing curls, and because I have wireless headphones, so I'd just be sitting there doing my curls, watching an anime episode, or like just listening to an anime episode if it was like bench press or something like that.
Getting hyped by the anime also, like that background music.
Just because I had such a long commute, I would watch in the gym and on the train, and then like get to work, and then on the way back home, watch on the train.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, again, it's very easy to do on your commute if it's dubbed, but if it's subbed, you do need to commit a little bit more time. You do need to commit a little bit more attention. So I do understand where that can come from. But you have things like Naruto, which has an excellent dub, and it's been done for a while now. You have things like One Piece. You have things like Promised Neverland. Well, I mean, One Piece dub isn't great.
One Piece is dub. The thing is, One Piece dub is but it just doesn't compare to the sub. So like,
and then you have things that have a better dub than sub, so you're not missing out, like Dragon Ball, for sure, like hands down.
There's one dub that was ever done perfectly. It was that. There are other ones that are done very well, but
I don't know that it's perfect, but it's done. Yeah, like you said, it's done very, very well. Like they even made the cool rabbit dude in Universe 5 or 1, 5.
It was Universe 8.
8, yes, Jiren's universe. They made, like, he sounds like a smooth black dude. Like, he sounds mad cool. He's like, yeah, man, I'm blah, blah, blah from hoo-ha. And it's like, yo, I can vibe with this dude. And, like, you get such a drastic, like, you find out so much about a character's personality from the voice actor that they choose, from the voice they choose to give it. And so, if you don't, like, understand Japanese, if that's intimidating for you, go ahead and watch dub. You find out a lot about the characters. And then there are some dubs like Attack on Titan that I don't love because Levi's voice is way too deep.
I've never heard dubs.
When you see Levi, you don't see that. You can't. It just doesn't work.
He's about 5 feet tall and he weighs like $113. Like, there's no reason for his voice to sound like, I've got you. And it's like, come on, man.
Like, chill, bro.
You got a deeper voice than Guts. But he's like half the size.
He had a deeper voice than Irvin, and Irvin's voice was, I think Irvin's voice was decent. Anyway, that's besides the point. Our final thoughts on the topic is anime for you? Quick answer, like we said at the beginning.
Yes.
We all think that for different reasons, though, and I think everyone who watches this video or listens to this video should just sit down and give one episode a try. One episode. Obviously, if you're not sure where to
And
start,
ask
someone.
any one of us. Ask
Yeah, you guys
any one of us.
send
Put it
us a
down in
message.
the comment section.
Yes.
Listen.
Go
Come
ahead.
on, Devin. Let me just talk to our viewers real quick. Please just
Oh.
put it down in the comment section real quick. You know, send us a DM. If you know us, send us a DM, and I will find an anime for you. Personal Diego guarantee. I will find an anime that you'll like.
And if he can't, I promise you I can.
Yeah, especially
And if they
if
can't,
I
I
can't.
promise you can find some generic stuff.
That's true. Anyways, here's the thing. Anime is just like any other form of media. You know, there are some bads, there are some goods, there are some greats. You just got to know where to look. And it's honestly worth giving a shot, because just because it's from another culture, just because it's, you know, maybe foreign in both sense, in both the sense of the word, doesn't mean you shouldn't give it a shot. It really is a great art form, and it's one of the most creative art forms out there. That's my final thoughts.
Max, final thoughts?
Yeah, my final thoughts kind of echo a little bit what Diego said, but to me, the most important thing to remember is it's another form of medium. It's another form of entertainment for you to enjoy, and I would never want anybody to close themselves off from possibly watching and reading some of the greatest stories that I think have ever been told. And honestly, if you're not giving yourself the shot to watch it, I think you're doing yourself a disservice. At least watch one show, I think. Try it out a little bit, and you might find yourself to be really surprised. You might become a weeaboo out of nowhere and start binging like I did in high school. Or on the other end, you might find one or two shows that you just like, and that's cool too. But as long as you find something that you like, I think is the most important thing about anime.
I agree. I definitely agree. I was about to shout out Promised Neverland.
Well, definitely a show you should definitely watch if you want to learn about good stories.
That's definitely not for everyone though, but it will catch you in the feels.
Oh man, like I wasn't ready for that roller coaster. Devin recommended that to me, and like I had watched it, and I was decided to watch it right before season 2 is about to come out, and my heart was not ready. It was not prepared. I was tearing up. I'm gonna be honest. Like, was not okay. I messaged Devin after episode 5. I'm like, I'm not okay.
So, my final thoughts on the topic, right? Truthfully, I just say watch a little bit of anime. Just because not only is it a medium that you'd be closing yourself off to, not only could it be a show that might change your life because of the perspective that it presents. Like, there are valuable life lessons, and you know how everyone has that one book that they've read that they'll always carry with them, like Harry Potter. People, like, you know, for some people it's Harry Potter. Some people have that one show that they carry with them. For some people it's Walking Dead, Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones. You know, anime can present to you a character that you relate to so wholeheartedly that you're like, you have to sit back for a second. You're like, huh. Like, I'm a fairly cocky guy in real life, you know, like I'm very much full of myself. I'm really realistic with my abilities. You know, it is what it is. I relate very heavily to characters like Gilgamesh. I relate very to cautionary tales, right? These characters who are so prideful that like things could go south, and it's like, oh, you know what? I sit here relating to the characters, and even though they're the strongest in their verse, oh, they slipped up. Oh, they messed up here. Oh, this is what went wrong. Like, and I could take that. It's like, okay, in certain situations, just humble yourself, you know, chill out, cool off, you know, and you learn lessons from characters that are like you, and you know, it's
or unlike you,
or even unlike you. You're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct.
A lot of my favorite characters tend to inspire me, other than just relate. Like, I might not just relate to them. Like, I know that I'm not like them, but I do wish to be like them. If that makes sense. Yeah, perfect. And I mean, that about sums it up.
If you guys have liked the video, go ahead and leave a comment. Again, ask us what anime to watch, because we will answer. We want more fans of anime. So leave a comment down below if you want to get some recommendations, or give us some recommendations. Leave a like on the video, and go ahead and subscribe to the channel, because we're going to start a new mini-series about what type of is XYZ type of anime for you. This was Diego's idea, and going forward, I think it's great. We can leave it to a vote. Should we start with, is romance anime for you? Is action anime for you? Is epics, adventure, Let us
Gag
know
anime?
what. You said gag anime?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Probably.
just let
Yeah,
us know what you want to see. Because we will eventually get to all of the genres. And now that these two are done with their giggity giggity moment, I've been Devin.
I'm Diego.
And I'm Max.
We appreciate the views. Thank you very much. Tune in next time for our next video on CGI, whether it's good, bad, and some CGI anime that don't suck, okay? Catch you on the next one.
Have a good one.
Dope.